Hello everybody, welcome to Fire Emblem Direct, coming to you, hopefully, on New Year's Day. I am Cam, the administrator of Fire Emblem Universe, and I'll be your host for today, showing you what's going on at the cutting edge of the fan project community. Now, this is the first time we're doing this, and you're probably wondering, what the heck am I watching? Well, if you're an aspiring fan game creator, wondering what's at the extreme edge of what's possible in ROM hacking, look no further. Today, we've got an awesome collection of technical demonstrations lined up to show what you too can put into your fan game to make it the best it could possibly be. First up is a new and revamped equipped item preview submitted by Zane Abernathy. You may remember this demo from FE3 earlier this year, but in case you haven't, you can see it in action now. Just by hovering over a unit with the cursor, you can see their entire inventory, along with this stylishly redesigned mini-mode box. As an additional feature, you can even see what items an enemy might drop from this menu, as you can see right here. At the moment, the hack comes packaged as a one-line event assembler installer, but also includes many options to let you tweak the design of the mini-mug box itself. For example, if you so please, you could make the unit's name just show up in bright green like this. Next up is a double feature by Circles Everywhere, showing off his fancy new skill animation and spell animation engine. As you're seeing right now, you can see a custom skill that activates all the time, scripted with this easy animation script, and processed using this drag and drop, that creates a very simple, one-line event assembler installer. Here's an example of Circle's new spell animation engine at work. The old method that used Fire Emblem Editor often resulted in artifacting or even just plain garbage frames, but as you can see here, this one results in no stretching at all. Our last submission is Terra Spark's Item Effect Revamp, another returner from FE3. The main purpose of this hack allows you to very easily give items use effects instead of being stuck to certain IDs, like the Vulnerary or the Elixir. With the newest release, enemies can use these items too. As you can see, this bandit right here is about to open a door with a hand axe. For our final segment, I'll be joined by the one and only General Archibald to preview an awesome project that's going to definitely revolutionize ROM hacking forever. Alright, here we are, demoing Emblem Magic. We got the creator, Lexoduck, here. Say hello.
That's me, I'm Lexoduck, and I made this software called Emblem Magic. I'll have you know, we're not affiliated with Nintendo in any way, just to be sure, you know.
Just in case.
It's written on the About screen.
None of this legal nonsense.
Anyways, so, yeah, this software is supposed to be the all-in-one Fire Emblem editor. You can open whichever ROM you wish. And,
sorry.
I was just about to say that, yeah, there's this open hack button right beneath it that allows you to open FEH files for Fire Emblem hacks. And these will save whatever you've written onto the ROM, and along with other data useful for your hacks.
Cool. I was going to say neither Arch nor I have touched this, so any of our reactions are pretty much completely genuine here.
Yeah, if you've ever seen like an unboxing video on YouTube, this is pretty much that.
Well, yeah, I just gave them the zip. Nobody's ever touched this besides me, in fact.
So Lexo, what inspired you to make this tool?
Well, I have to say, I'm a bit grateful deep down to the Fire Emblem community in that they got me into liking computers and, you know, learning about assembly and all that. So this, in one sense, is a way for me to give back, and in another sense, a way for me to learn a lot about, well, making software with the UI and all that, you know, as well as just decoding whatever goes on inside a Game Boy Advance, which is really interesting to me.
Alright, so tell us a little more about, like, what Emblem Magic is supposed to do. You mentioned, like, this FE hack file, and, like, but, like, you didn't, I don't think we've really gone over, like, what the purpose of this program is, other than, you know, just to make hacks, to do everything. Magic.
As you can see, this big assortment of buttons, I might make it easier to follow, but this is basically the access to all the different editors that the software is supposed to offer.
Okay.
So here you can you can just select whichever tile you want, and you can see on the left there you have the simple tile tool where it'll simply put that tile wherever you click. You have a fill tool which will spray that same tile on all adjacent tiles that are the same, much like any fill tool in like Paint. And if you select several tiles while using the fill tool, it'll do a random fill. So in fact, you could just clear the map, select several grass tiles, and do a little fill tool and have random grass spread all over your map real quick like that. So, yeah, once you try and insert an image, you'll see that it'll give you a prompt to repoint the different parts of the image, the palette, and the parts that make up the portrait here.
That's cool.
Since they're of different lengths probably in the portrait you're trying to insert, it's good to repoint it to free space, and you can click the auto sequence button at the bottom there to automatically have pointers that are at the correct intervals with each other.
So does that just change the pointer, or does it actually change what it's written to as well?
Oh yeah, it's written, well, you can open the Write History Manager to see exactly what's been written. Normally you should have not only the parts that change the portrait, but also all the pointers in the array that have been repointed as well. And you know this by the fact that they show up in these boxes. Next to palette there's now DAOO, as there should be. Another thing you can do, you can click on the little palette above the portrait there, and that'll open up a palette editor. In here you can, well, modify the palette however you wish. And you'll notice, yes, all windows update together at the same time. You could open the hex editor and go to the location of this palette and switch the colors around and see the numbers moving around at the same time you do it.
Oh wow, that's actually really cool. When you were working on Suite, I remember Colors was saying that was something that he was having difficulty with.
Yeah, well, I tried to integrate the capability to edit palettes like everywhere and as easily as possible, because it's always been kind of a hassle in hacking previously. I mean, I've found.
Yeah, that's really cool.
There we go.
Hey!
Yeah, you could have switched around the mouth too, because it showed up on the software there, the mouth at the bottom. That's the whole design principle of Emblem Magic, really, is that it's meant to load these things the way the game does it, so that normally on that Hector portrait you have, the mouth should show up exactly as it does in game, and that way it makes for easier testing, I believe. No, it's actually right above. It's the 4 boxes under placement right there, where you.
Oh, there. Oh, that's really cool.
And then you can test around with the blink. Well, those 2 sliders there to test around the animation, test them smiling and frowning, etc. Now, of course, you're gonna have to save the ROM again and reopen it. But yeah. Oh yeah. And yeah, it's good to test the blink, because that way you can actually see the eyes, since when he's not blinking they don't show up, and that's how the game does it as well.
That's pretty fancy. So when... I know hackers hate to be asked this question, but when do you think we'll see this on the horizon?
Now, that's a good question. I believe myself to be somewhere around halfway done, and for now I've been working on this for 4 months, perhaps a bit more. So if I can keep up the frequency and the speed at which I work, then you can expect something in 4 months.
Okay, that's really exciting, man.
If I can keep up the frequency, but then that always leaves me with an excuse, you know?
I believe in you.
You can, right now you're looking at the dialogue backgrounds, but you can also look at the battle backgrounds and cutscenes. And well, every time it tries to load the list, so that's why it shows that error there. But and it's the same deal here. You can open up the palette editor by clicking on the palette, and there's that other button right above that where you can open a TSA editor and actually change the TSA of this background here. So you just click on any tile, and it should show up the information for that tile on the bottom. You can select several at a time as well, by shift clicking or using shift as well as the keyboard keys. And that way you can edit the palettes of several tiles at the same time, or like flip horizontal on a bunch at once.
That's really awesome.
You can also save it to a TSA file, which is, well, quite simply just the bytes of the TSA that are supposed to be inserted, uncompressed, and load TSA files however you wish.
Oh, so could you do something like for example, I have like a TSA file for like a battle background or something, or not the background, the frame, right? I could just load that in at once, and it would just work out of the box?
Because, well, if you try and insert a background here by using the Insert from File button, you'll see that it'll run this code that automatically transforms the background into TSA-compatible tiles, so with 16 color for each 8x8 pixel region. And that tends to mess up some parts of the image. Now, I've made it work as best as I can, but this is a complicated kind of algorithm. And in this case, yeah, if you want to recreate your TSA to be 100% certain of the result, well, you can simply create a TSA file and then load it up this way. Yeah, in the battle animation editor, you can see the 4 palettes for, well, the different, if he's ally, neutral, etc. And you can also click on the checkbox for character and look at the animation with a character palette. And it's the same thing here. You can.
Oh, that is really sick.
It's the same thing here. You can just click on the palette at the bottom, and it opens the palette editor, and you can edit it however you wish.
Oh, that is awesome.
Now, you'll notice I also changed a bit how battle animation code works, because, well, I wanted to make it work at the same time in editor and outside of the editor with text files with largely the same syntax. And so this is the way I found, which is why I changed the syntax mostly. There's a couple of differences, like a few things to change if you're, like, for instance, changing battle animations from the Feditor format to this one. But I'm going to write up exactly how to do that and put that in the help for the software. Because yes, if you press F1, there's a little help menu that should show up, which is for now empty almost, but they'll get there.
Well,
And well, the last thing you haven't checked is the ASM editor.
ooh,
For now, it's incomplete. It can only decompile thumb, but for instance, I know an address where there's some thumb code. Go in that address box right beneath the thumb checkbox there, yeah. And 58960, I think, is an address, and take like 100 bytes. In any case,
wow.
you get your code, and on the right there's for now somewhat functional simulator where you can read lines and simulate the functioning of your CPU with all your registers there, and it can even follow branches to go decompile wherever you want, you know.
Interesting. Okay.
Because right now you just have 1 byte, and that's not enough for an assembly instruction.
We're gonna run into that problem where there's like so many different like standards for like hacks and shit. We have like an EA build file. I have my own custom build file, but no one is ever gonna use because it's fucking awful. Fucking awful for everyone who isn't me. We've got FE hacks.
Well, yeah. Even I have high hopes for what I'm going to keep making with this. It's been fun all these 4 months. Not bored yet.
That's such a brief time, and I mean, you've just like you've blown Competitor out of the water.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you've seen how many bugs there are. You know, that's the downside of the 4-month development cycle. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's better to have something put together and bugs to work out than to have nothing at all. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. But I guess I mean,
So you talked about giving back to the community. How can we as the community give back to you? I know past a certain point, Hextator actually opened up Feditor to user, contributions. For example, I have some code in Feditor. Will there be anything in this of sort like for this when you eventually get out of horrible pre-alpha stage?
Well, yeah, as you said, right now I'm in a horrible pre-alpha stage, and specifically in this stage I believe I'm quite protective over my code and want to have full control over it. But as soon as, it'll be released in, as soon as I get out of 1.0, basically, Right now, I think I called it 1.7. I'm not sure.
Okay.
As soon as this 1.0 comes out, yeah, I'll at the same time put out the source code, and people can at first just try and understand it, because there's already like over 50 files of source code. So it'll be a little while before they can start helping, but I have confidence people can start helping and fixing bugs that I couldn't think of, you know.
Okay.
And you know, of course, I can imagine a lot of people would like to change Emblem Magic because they have this very specific ASM hack, so they have to change something just to have the portrait error work correctly, or something like that. So I'm going to have to give out the source code pretty early, I believe.
Okay. That's cool.
But all in all, really, it's great fun. It's just, it moves at its own pace, you know, I'm a one-man team, so...
Yeah, I feel.
But I wouldn't have it any other way in any case, so...
Yeah.
I just hope to make y'all happy, and specifically to have a bunch of cool ROM hacks to play, because I want to have some cool ROM hacks to play. This community has been dwindling for a bit too long now.
Well, thank you for giving us this early access preview. Thank you for being here to talk it over with us. I'm pretty sure we would have been confounded by all of the, oh no! What is
all
this
of the
bug?
errors.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I couldn't leave you guys on your own with this, work in progress, crashing all over the place. But you guys, get to test all the bugs and, get to have fun with this before everybody else. I don't know if that's worth it to you guys.